Hi, today I'm going to walk through the recent change in the portal view, especially the changes for the COVID-19 application to help the community to fight the pandemic. One change I've done is previously I was trying to create a separate view for the COVID-19, but later on I realized, okay, I need to have another website to host this COVID-19 application. That increased the cost because I don't have that many resources available. So I just moved the COVID-19 view back to the portal view so that both views or both single page applications are sharing the same virtual host. So this is the one, the check-in. I did the merging. You can see we changed the package.json to add this React map GL for the Mapbox in support, supercluster, tinycolor, and use supercluster React hook. Add a new utility.js. So within the utility.js, there is one called time conversion. So we can convert milliseconds to a numbered minute, second, minute, hours, and days, so that we can have short time duration for the UI display. For the mail menu, this constant data has been removed, and we are using the React hook, use API get to get the private message from the backend service. So this is the one. We basically get user ID from use user state after user login. Then we put the email into the email as a data, and we call this command. Once we get the data, we can display the menu using the message we got from the server. Yeah, it's the display data index, and everything's same. It just replaced the variable from messages to data. For notification, it's same, very similar. We basically remove the constant data, and we get data from backend service get notifications. So the notification is just like every change you've done on the system, you will have a CQRS event, and because the service is event sourcing, so every event is your activity against the system. So we basically get all the event you can display in this get notification. So you see what has been done for this particular user ID after you log in. And we display this notification in the format. I can show you what it looks like. So without logging in, you don't have that two menus, but after you log in, you should have the menu. So this is the notification. So you can see from here, you can see this is all the update to the system. I first user create and confirm the user email, and then create city map, all the activities I've done. And here is a private message. You click here, you don't have private message yet. So that's the functionality we are adding in to access the backend service. In the sidebar, we update the menu so that when we access the live form, the live map, we just use a form to do the query to limit the map to a specific city. In the form, we add a couple of forms. This form is, let's see. Yeah, we don't have all the details there. There are a couple of forms added. This is a live map. The map will display a particular city and all the activities registered, all entity registered on that city. And from the pop-up, you can either send a private message to the other side, or you can view the status of the other peer. This style, not the significant change in the style, we just add the cluster marker. For the live map, I can show you like what it look like. You first give you a form. You can select the city you're interested in, and you can select a category: requester, isolated, for example. You can see the map is displayed here. You can this is displays a cluster, and eventually you will see this. This is a private message. You can send a private message to this guy because I log in. This is my user ID. Or you can view the pure status. For example, if you want to view the pure status, it looks like this. I'll walk through this later on. So this is the change. Like we move back the COVID-19 view back to the live portal view. Let's take a look at the other changes recently. Yeah. So update view, add React apps sign in URL. So add this copy test.sh so that I can copy the build to the remote server, to the test cloud. It's very easy. Basically, it's doing the build for the dev. This is for testing. And then I CP the build folder to the test2 server in this Light API build. In the package.json, I added two more build, one for dev build, one for product build, so that the sign-in site will be different and the client ID will be different. For the dev, the sign-in will be the dev sign-in, lightapi.net. This later on changed to, we remove this dot already. So it will be just a dev sign-in dot lightapi.net. Client ID will be the 7073, and this one is 72. This is for the production deployment. And for the profile menu, we change this to use the Node.js from the Node.js product and development. We are using the env React app sign-in URL, so that we can separate the test environment and the production environment, even though they are built as a production. This later has been changed. I think the dev sign-in has been changed to use single word, because Cloudflare doesn't like 4 different segments for the domain name. Yeah, handle network error informed.js. So this change, like, I want to emphasize a little bit, because yeah, it took me a lot of time trying to get this working. So one thing I added is we added one function to the util.js called isJSON to detect if a string is a JSON or not. But at this moment, I'm not using this. I don't think I'm using this anymore. But here is how we handle the response from the server. First, we assume, okay, the server response. There are two different types of response from the server. If the response is coming from the light 4G APIs, is always a JSON. However, if there's sometimes you got a response from OAuth, light OAuth. Light OAuth sometimes returns a text instead of JSON because we are trying to comply with the OAuth specification. So the response potentially can be a text, not JSON format. So we cannot just say await response.json. We basically convert this to a text, and then we are trying to do the parsing, JSON parse. If we got arrow during the parsing, it will be basically cached by this arrow. If there are no arrow, we basically say check if the response is okay. If it's okay, we don't throw this anymore. If it's okay, we basically put. If it's not okay, we push to the failure action of the form. If it's if it's success, we push to success. But if we catch the arrow, it basically we log the arrow first. It might be most time we come here, it's not JSON anymore. It's something, and then we create the arrow object using arrow, and then we pass this to failure. So this is how we handle this arrow. Yeah, if you want to see the final code, it's here for the arrow handling. It's convert to text and do the parsing. If so, if not okay, push to failure. If it's okay, push to action success. And if it's cached arrow, then we create arrow object and push to failure. So this is the final arrow handling for the form submission. Arrow handling, copy service, package JSON arrow. So we made a change here, dev sign in. For the dev we are using 72, and for product we are using 71. And 73 actually is used by the local build for localhost. So those three different different client IDs, they have different redirect URI. That's why we use three different IDs. Yeah, this is the change. We made just make sure, okay, if the data is is null, for example, in the case we get an error, we basically construct messages from data or another empty array so that we can make sure that the code still works. So now we are using messages instead of data, because in the if the data doesn't exist, for example, if there is no primary message for this particular user, then the data will be null and error will be just for the message doesn't exist or something like that. And for notification, we are doing the similar thing. We remove this constant, and we are checking if the data is not empty, then we do this. Yeah, because notification in the most cases, notification won't be empty because after you create your user, you at least have one entry, two entries after login because you have user creation and the email confirmation. Those two activities, anyway. Handle API error for mail and notification manual in view. Yeah, this is the same, like we just create a separate summation error code and network error differently. Let's take a look at what has been changed here. Oh, we basically switched this error data. We need to pass in the error in the case of failure. So this is a bug like we fixed. We removed Google Map from component just to reduce the size of the final build. And here, just as I mentioned before, like we changed the login view to dev sign in like API.NET. So you can see from here, we made this different changes in the package.json. For the build dev, we changed this to dev sign in. And in the profile menu, we changed this to dev sign in as well from dev.sign in. And from the setup proxy, this is a change. This is basically it's a full text search to do the change. And for the yarn log, we don't care. So that's the change made recently. This concludes part 9, Live Portal view video log. Thank you. Bye-bye.